Alrighty, this is Colin again here. I've done some blog posts in the past where I demonstrated how you can use the Data Tables API and the Editor API in your code to enhance your cloud tables. If you look at the blog post Summing Column Data, it's a two-part post and that has some good examples in there. With that code, you either had to have an event to trigger the code or you have your own control in the table or on your page, but that would be styled differently. We've added a new button type now that allows you to trigger the code, and I'll be demonstrating that in this video. So we go to the Table tab. You can either create a new button group or you can just modify an existing one like I'm going to do. Add new button, and then right down the end of the list, you'll see the custom button. You can give it a title, so we'll call it our button, and then you give it the name of the function in your code that will be called. The active option here, you can have it always available. You can have the button active when one row is selected or when multiple rows are selected. That could be useful, for example, if you want the button to delete rows from the table. And you wouldn't want that button active if no rows have been selected. So that's all we need to do here. I created a very simple HTML file earlier, currently empty. So we'll embed the cloud tables into this file. I've done videos in the past demonstrating the .NET and PHP ways to embed a table, and also serverless. Serverless isn't the best one to use for the reasons discussed in those earlier videos that I won't repeat again here, but it's the easiest one to use in a video. So I'll use that. So I copy that to the clipboard. Now we go back to our HTML file, paste it in. We also called our function myfunc. So we'll do a quick myfunc function now. The function is called from the button. So I said it's a button type, so on the data tables reference pages, you'll see the action method that gets called when a button is pressed. So we'll grab the list of parameters, go back to our code, we'll paste that in there. Missed. So just for now, we'll just run a console log. Hello world, old favorite. Save that, and then we'll run our HTML page. So what we should see now is the cloud table. And we'll pull up the developer tools. And then when we click our button on the console, you'll see hello world. So what we'll do is we'll modify our button further. So we'll say that when the button is clicked, it will highlight all of the London records in our table. So to do that, we need to iterate over the rows. DT there is a handle to the DT library, so we can just use that. The rows method selects all the rows in the table, and then every will iterate over those rows. What we'll do first of all is we'll just print out the data for each row, just so I can demonstrate how that looks. So the row is going to be the context there, so that's why it's this.data. So go back to our demo, refresh the page. And now when you click our button, you'll see all the row data being displayed. If we open it up, so we said we were going to look at the office, which is this one here. So it's a string that contains a JSON object. And you'll notice it's got two parts in the object, text and the type. So we're concerned about the text element to it. And the field is called DP240. The reason why it's called DP240, if we go back to our Cloud Tables app to our data page, each of the data points has an ID. So the office ID is DP240. So that's why that ties into there. So we'll go back to our demo. So we'll grab the data first of all, var data equals. We said data is a string, so we need to pass that string. So we use JSON pass. We'll grab the data again. And we said we're concerned with DP 240. So we'll do a check if data 0. We said it's inside the text element equals London. We will select that row. So we get the data, we check it for being London, and then we select it. Save it, go back to our file again, refresh the page. And now when you click our button, you'll see we've got an error because I can't spell JSON. So what we'll do is we'll just correct that. Back to our file, refresh the page, click the button, and now you'll see all of the London records being selected. So that button can do whatever you want. It can call the data tables API like we just did, or it can call your own functions. Very, very versatile, and that will really help you to enhance your cloud tables. Hope that was helpful. I'll be back with more videos soon. Take care, and I'll speak to you then.